Today I fucked up by explaining my synesthesia to my boyfriend. I have grapheme color synesthesia. Basically I see letters and numbers in colors. The letter E being green, for example. A couple months ago I was explaining it to my boyfriend, who's a bit of a skeptic. He asked me what color certain letters and numbers were and had me write them down. Since then he'll randomly quiz me, and compare my answer to what I said a few months ago. Always being the same-ish as course. He still seemed a bit skeptic, as if maybe I just memorized them really well. Tonight we were laying in bed and my boyfriend quizzed me again. I tried explaining to him I just see the colors automatically when I visualize the letters in my head. I asked him what color are the letters in his head. He looked at me weirdly like, what do you mean in my head? That's not a thing. My boyfriend didn't understand what I meant by visualizing the letters. He didn't believe me that I can visualize letters or even visualize anything in my head. Turns out my boyfriend has aphantasia. When he tries to visualize stuff he just sees blackness. He can't picture anything in his mind and thought that everyone else had it the same way. He thought it was just an expression to say picture this or etc. It's crazy to him the fact that I can picture his face without looking at him, or a banana without looking at it. Now I have a boyfriend that is really upset. He feels like his world is turned upside down and everybody else has this cool superpower. He's been texting all his friends and see if they can imagine stuff and realizing I wasn't pulling his chain. He's pretty upset, and I feel really bad. TLDR tried to explain what having synesthesia is like to my BF and turned his life upside down by finding out he has aphantasia. Can't visualize anything at all. Edit. Oh wow, this blew up. I just wanted to say my boyfriend wasn't being a jerk when it came to quizzing me. It was more of a fun curiosity thing / science experiment. He never thought I was lying. I think it's one thing to wrap your head around synesthesia when you can visualize normally, but it's way harder when you have aphantasia. Whoa. My friend has aphantasia. She says she just reads the words and knows what they mean. She just doesn't see them in her head. She has a really hard time navigating, and I honestly think it's because she can't see where she's going. Someone else with aphantasia. Imagine that? Oh. I can't wrap my mind around having aphantasia. I really want to, but what happens when you think of something? Literally anything. I always see what I'm thinking of, in almost every situation. It's how I solve problems and use critical thinking. How do you think without seeing? Like if I tell you to think of your house or your apartment, do you not see it in your head? Could you not walk through your entire house in your head, as if you were actually doing so? If not, what are you thinking of? The idea of your house or apartment. Just like yes, I do have a house / apartment. Is that what it's limited to? If I tell you to think of blue, do you not see blue? What happens when you daydream? Do you daydream? Are your thoughts limited to abstraction? Could you see even your significant other's face? I really wish I could understand how thought processes work with aphantasia. It sounds fascinating, but also terrible. I just can't understand even being able to think about something without seeing it in my head. Deleted. I have lexical gustatory. Voices have flavors. Nice to meet you and your dude. Woo, tell us more. What does Barack Obama's voice taste like? Sylvester Stallone. Marlon Brando. The announcer guy at boxing matches. Today I fucked up by delivering for DoorDash. So I've been delivering for Dash on the side for a few weeks now. Today I had a typical order from a local sushi joint. I saw the order for a fellow named Tom. Funny thing, the second half of the order is exactly to the T what my GF always gets. 2 dragon rolls, extra sriracha on the side, and a large iced tea. She is very particular. She also has a co-worker named Tom she has mentioned, and she said she spent the night up in Denver with her sister last night for a girls' night. Picked up the order and was on my way. Pulled up to a way nice apartments, knocked on the door, and a very handsome fellow named Tom answered. handed him the food and heard a familiar voice say, "Make sure there's sriracha." It was my now ex-GF in a t-shirt and panties. I said nothing, she said nothing. Door closed and well, now I'm single. And on to me next, better make that money if I'm going to be back on Tinder. Too long, didn't read, delivered a door to my now ex-GF while she was cheating on me with her co-worker. Tall handsome man with a nice ass apartment. Look at it this way, not many people get paid to find out they are being cheated on. That's shite. Looks like you dodged a bullet though, you deserve better than her. Yup, Tom's next to be cheated on. Wait, did she see you? You just said y'all didn't say anything. Yup, awkward eye contact. That was it, nothing to say. Have a nice day. You ever seen American Beauty? When his wife comes through the drive-thru, just like that. That's a win in my book. Live and learn, many more opportunities out there. Better than not knowing. Did Tom tip? Okay, but what happened after this is what I want to know. In a relationship there's always stuff that needs to collected after a breakup. This sounds like TNT formula ready to explode once they talk again. I hope you can move on in peace, but damn if this type of thing wouldn't sting the ego. Good luck. You definitely deserve better. I went home, grabbed her things, just enough stuff to fill a garbage bag. Went to her apartment, got my stuff, left the key on the counter. She hasn't called or texted. Nothing. I guess there's nothing to say really. I'm back out delivering. There's hungry buffs here in Boulder, gotta feed the needy and make money, and just stay busy. I'll hit the gym when I'm done, smoke a bowl and try and just forget it. Today I fucked up by falling asleep in the back of my boyfriend's car. Last summer. We're on a road trip from New Mexico to Mexico. We have a Honda Element converted for living in, so I crawl in the back to nap while he's driving. He stops at a gas station in the desert of Arizona, and while he's pumping, I get out to use the bathroom. Come back out, don't see him, and walk around the parking lot to have a look. I jokingly think to myself that maybe he drove off not knowing that I got out to use the restroom, but brush that off. I sit on a bench outside, twiddling my thumbs, realizing this may now actually be the case. I reach for my phone to call him, but of course my phone is in the car. I go back inside to ask the cashier to use their phone, but she says they don't have one. Obviously they do, but whatever. So I start asking random people in the store to use their phone, which makes people visibly uncomfortable because we're in the middle of nowhere. They think I'll steal it, I guess. I go back outside and continue asking strangers for their phone. I realize I don't know my boyfriend's number by heart, so I just call my phone repeatedly, hoping he'll answer. He doesn't. I use one person's phone to log into my Facebook to find my boyfriend's number, but alas, his phone is dead when I call. I resort to explaining to everyone whose phone I ask to use my situation. Some don't believe me, others feel really bad, and one man offered to buy me a hotel room for the night in the next town over, thinking that my boyfriend left me on purpose, and I was just being modest. It's been about 2 hours now. The store clerks through the windows have been looking at me suspiciously for a while. I'm still sitting on this bench in the desert, and have no idea what to do and start bawling my eyes out. A cop car pulls up and the officer comes to me and lets me know the store clerks called them because I've been loitering, haggling people for phones outside of their store and crying. I explain my situation and she's as confused and sympathetic as all the other people. She tells me I can't stay there, so she can either take me to a truck rest stop in the town over or go to the police station. I ask her to take me to the rest stop, although she's not convinced that my boyfriend legitimately left me there on accident. We're driving down the highway when on her radio another cop says he's at the gas station and there's a guy there looking for his girlfriend. I just crack up and she does too, flips the car around and takes me back. And there my boyfriend is standing outside of his car, banging on the windows and nearly crying because he couldn't believe he'd actually done that. He said he was passing some really cool scenery far into the drive and went to wake me up to see too when he realized I wasn't in the car, flipped it around and drove faster than he's ever driven in his life to get back to the gas station. And that he wondered why so many people kept calling me, but didn't feel comfortable answering my phone. He thought for sure that was the end of our relationship and the trip was ruined. Edit, I understand TIFU by not relaying my need to pee. Also that it all sounds really stupid objectively and in retrospect, but it makes sense how things happened at the time. Also have never heard of this Last Man on Earth episode until now, so that's pretty funny. I have many a text message / Facebook post to prove this happened IRL. Not so great element / trip pics. Too long didn't read, went to use the bathroom while my boyfriend was pumping gas, he didn't know, drove off, and I was stranded, asking people to use their phones for hours until police were called to come get me. Oh, I'm glad this one has a happy ending. Me and my mom used to go on road trips when I was a kid and honestly this was my nightmare as a kid, left behind on accident at a gas station would have scared me to death. Crazy how the store managed to call 911 without a phone. Must be magic. This story is funny as shit but also makes me uncomfortable laugh about how many relationships may have been lost from the pre-cell phone era. Hard to believe we made it those millions of years without the tech of the last 20, isn't it? Lesson learned, always keep your phone on you, at least. I think it's best to just tell the person you're with, hey, I'm going to the bathroom. Great boyfriend you have there. Edit, this isn't sarcasm, this was meant genuinely because the boyfriend wanted to wake up to see the bow today. I fucked up the scenery, realizes what happened, drives faster than ever back to the gas station, crying. And didn't want to answer her phone because he respected her privacy.